Hello, good day friend. Today we'll talk on C# for each loop. We'll see how for each loop works. So let's start. So I'm in Visual Studio console application. So let me take a list. Okay, so I need to import the namespace. Let me add item to it. Okay, now if we write a for each loop, so I can loop over this list and I get each item and I can act upon it. So here I'm printing those items. So let's run it. So here are the items. Okay, so let me go here and let me take some other collection. Let me take an array. Let me initialize it straight away here. Okay, so I took it and let me run it. So you can see 10, 20, 30 here. Now the question is how for each loop is working inside. So if I go inside the definition of the array, if I press F12, so this is the definition of the array. The array implements an IEnumerable interface. The IEnumerable interface, if we go inside it, F12, you see there is a GetEnumerator method is there. So for each loop calls this GetEnumerator method, and this GetEnumerator method returns a type which implements IEnumerator. So if we go inside IEnumerator, you can see it has MoveNext method, reset method, and current property. So then the for each loop goes inside your MoveNext method and it checks if there is any further element. If it is there, it calls the current property to get that current element, and then it's put that element into item, and then you can act upon it. So this is how it is. IEnumerable array or release, they implement IEnumerable. Now if you have any type which has GetEnumerator method and the return type has this two MoveNext and current MoveNext method and current property, for each you will be able to work with for each loop. So let me show this in action. Okay, so let me take my own type. So class, so this is my type. Okay, now here we will take say one list. For the sake of simplicity, I am taking list of integer to start with. Okay, this is a list. Now remember, we must have, so I would go and create an add method so that we can add to this, to my type, and I will take integer. I would add those two here, and then so you got this. Now remember, we need to have public IEnumerator type, so it can be this type, any type which implements that's to that method, MoveNext and current property. Okay, so I'm in GetEnumerator. I can return this. And then now what I would do, I would come here and I would take where MyType new, I'll create a new type, and then I will add element to it, just like list 1, 2, and then I'd like to loop over this type. Now if I try to loop over this type, we can see a red wiggle here. Now if I hover my mouse here, you see it's written here, MyType does not contain a definition for current, so we need a current, and Foreach requires that the return type MyType for MyType.GetEnumerator must have a suitable public MoveNext method and public current property. So if we go to public, which returns bool MoveNext, okay, fine. Now we will, okay, so we need a current which returns object. So it will only have a gate which can return. Okay, I need another property which can hold the index. Let's say that current index. Now current would return the proper object. Okay, so this is about current, and so we would see that how this works. We got the current index, and in MoveNext we would be returning okay, we would do one thing. We need the initial value for the current index, so I will set it to -1 to start with. That means because first time when MoveNext will be called, I will increment it to 0, that is the first index, and then I would check that okay, I will check that current index is less than list.Count. So okay, so that was about so if it is, now I would be putting this here, the breakpoints. Now I'll see, you see there is no wiggle here. That means for each loop would be able to successfully loop. The compiler is not giving any error at least, but we will check. So let me run it. So we hit the breakpoint, so let me go. I added the element. See, it hit first GetEnumerator. I'm returning this type only. Now it's in keyword, and it went to MoveNext. The value of the current index is now -1. It would be incremented and it would become 0. 0 less than, there are two elements, 2 is your always true, so it would be true. The check is good. See, it came to current property to get that element. 0 or list, it would return 1, value 1. I got value 1. You see the value is 1. I got, okay, so you got the value 1. Now let me loop through it one more time. It came, the index incremented by 1, and it still hold true. It came here and we got the second item, that is 2, and it's been printed. And then you go to the next call. It is 2 less than 2 is false. It returned false. See, we came out of the loop. Let me run through it, and you see we have 1, 2 done. So that is how for each loop works. It calls GetEnumerator, and then it calls MoveNext and gets the item from current property. Thank you for watching this.